Israel has just made a decision that will change the Middle East forever. In southern Lebanon, entire cities woke up empty, doors open, cars abandoned, silence where there was life yesterday. Families are leaving everything behind in the middle of the night. More than 800,000 people have fled in the last few days. Israeli troops are advancing further and further as the bombings intensify. Hezbollah is being hit in positions that it previously thought were untouchable. But behind all this movement, Israel is doing something that has gone unnoticed by most people. Something that goes far beyond a regular military operation. Something physical, concrete, visible on the map, and that no country had done inside another's territory in the 21st century. When you understand what this is, you'll understand why, for the first time, the end of Hezbollah really seems possible. But to understand the magnitude of what Israel just did, you need to know what happened before. Because this operation didn't start 2 days ago. It started much earlier. After a brutal war in 2024, Israel and Hezbollah agreed to a ceasefire in November of that year. Hezbollah had been devastated. Nasrallah, its historic leader, was dead. A large part of the group's military leadership had been eliminated. The arsenal of precision missiles, built over decades with Iranian money, had been largely destroyed. The Lebanese government seized the moment. For the first time in decades, it began to deploy the army to the south of the country, the region that has always been Hezbollah's territory. In January 2026, the Lebanese government proudly announced that it had completed the first phase of Hezbollah's disarmament south of the Litani River. It seemed like something was changing.
Hezbollah's stronghold until Israel's war on the group weakened it.
But then, in March 2026, something happened that no one expected. The supreme leader of Iran, Ali Khamenei, was killed. In less than 48 hours, Hezbollah opened fire on Israel. Rockets fired towards northern Israel. The group said it was in solidarity with Iran. But the real message was something else. Hezbollah was still alive. It still had teeth. And it wasn't willing to stay quiet. That attack was a fatal mistake. And Hezbollah still doesn't know the price it will pay for that. Israel had waited patiently. It had a plan. And Hezbollah just gave the perfect justification to carry it out. But what Israel did next was not just retaliation. It was something much more calculated and much more permanent. Netanyahu didn't waste any time. In March 2026, Israel launched a massive air offensive and sent troops to southern Lebanon. The stated mission was simple: destroy Hezbollah's bases, weaponry, and military structures, and ensure that the approximately 60,000 Israelis who had fled northern Israel could finally return home. But there was something else going on. Something that Israel was building in silence while the world was watching the explosions. And this is exactly where the story takes a turn, unlike anything you've seen before. Think this through with me. What would be the only way to make sure this never happened again? Israel answered this question in a way that no country had ever tried before. In the first days of the operation, besides attacking, it also started to mark boundaries. It established a strip of land that extends up to 10 kilometers inside Lebanese territory, beyond the internationally recognized border. And it declared on its own, without consulting anyone, that no Hezbollah force could operate in that area. This strip became known as the Yellow Line. It was not negotiated. It was not approved by anyone. It's not in any agreement, in no treaty, in no official document in the world. Israel simply drew it on the map and said, "Everything up to here is ours now. Whoever crosses pays the price." Hezbollah tried to ignore it. And that's exactly when it really started to bleed. Every time fighters from the group try to approach that line, they are attacked. Every time drones take off from inside that area, they are intercepted, or the launchers are destroyed. Israel has, in practice, created a territory under Israeli military control, inside a sovereign country, without declaring occupation, without asking for permission, and without giving any sign that it intends to leave. And with Operation Arrows of Fire, Israel went even further. The troops crossed the Yellow Line itself and advanced even further north. The evacuation zone, which initially reached the Litani River, the historic border recognized since 2006, was pushed toward the Zerani River, much further north, almost reaching the center of Lebanon. Israel is taking territory, in slow motion, in a way that is very hard to reverse. But if you think Hezbollah is just watching without reacting, you need to understand what is left of this group, because the answer will surprise you. Hezbollah is not standing still. Far from it. The group still operates explosive drones that can penetrate some Israeli defenses. They still fire rockets at communities in northern Israel. They still try to ambush troops advancing through southern Lebanon. It's an uneven war. Hezbollah can't face Israel head-on, so they rely on wearing them down. But there's a serious problem with that strategy, and it's only getting bigger. Each downed drone reveals a position. Each revealed position becomes a target. Each destroyed launcher is one less launcher, each eliminated commander. And Israel has eliminated more than 220 Hezbollah fighters, just since the ceasefire reached in April this year. It's a hole in the group's structure that takes months to fill. Hezbollah is trapped in a cycle it can't get out of. The more it attacks, the weaker it gets. Nasrallah was killed in September 2024. After that, the military leaders followed. One by one, the chief of staff, the commander of the Southern Front, the leader of the Radwan Force, Hezbollah's elite ground combat unit that was planning an October 7th style attack in northern Israel. The precision missile arsenal was largely destroyed. What remains are less accurate rockets and enough drones to be a nuisance, but not enough to change the course of a war. And perhaps the clearest sign of the group's situation is this. Hezbollah says it will not disarm as long as Israel keeps troops on Lebanese soil. But Israel is there precisely because Hezbollah did not disarm. It's a trap the group can't get out of. And while that trap is closing, something historic is happening in the United States. Israel and Lebanon are sitting at the negotiating table for the first time since 1983, more than 40 years ago. Direct talks mediated by the United States with the goal of reaching a peace agreement. The fourth round of negotiations is scheduled for June 2nd and 3rd. The Lebanese government, weakened and under pressure, wants a way out. The new president wants to restore the country's sovereignty, including over Hezbollah. And the United States is pushing both sides toward an agreement that, if reached, would require the group's permanent disarmament. Israel knows this and is using every day of operations to come to that table with as much advantage as possible. The Yellow Line is not just a military barrier, it's a bargaining chip. The more territory Israel controls when the talks move forward, the harder it will be for Hezbollah to recover what it lost, either at or away from the negotiating table. And if that agreement comes, Hezbollah loses not only territory, but also its reason for existing in southern Lebanon. It loses its historical role. It loses everything it built in 40 years. What comes next is still uncertain. The war could escalate. The negotiations could fail. Hezbollah could surprise with some capability it hasn't shown yet. But one thing is clear. Hezbollah today is not the same as 2 years ago. It has lost its leadership, its most sophisticated arsenal, its historic operating territory, and now faces a line on the map that Israel drew on its own, and that grows every week. For the first time in decades, the group that swore to destroy Israel is struggling to survive. Hezbollah can keep firing, but with each passing day, the territory it lost becomes a little harder to recover. Israel didn't wait. It didn't ask for permission. It didn't consult anyone. It just acted. What do you think? Will Hezbollah accept disarmament or fight until the end? Leave your opinion in the comments. If this video helped you better understand what's happening in Lebanon, share it with someone who also wants to know the truth behind the news. If you haven't subscribed yet, do it now. See you next time.